Hello and welcome to Card Creative Coaching. I don't know why it's taken me this long to do a video on values, but apparently it has. Um, Values are something that's really important to me, and they're an integral part of who we are. And if you're having trouble figuring out your values, if you don't really know your values, then that can really affect how much you know about yourself and how easy it is to go through life. Values are really an important part of ourselves and can really help us understand ourselves. So, what are values? Values are the things in our lives that are the most important to us. They can help us make decisions and live a more meaningful life. And if you're feeling frustrated or stressed, chances are it's because probably one of your values is being stepped on. Or, I mean, in today's day and age, there could be a whole lot of other outside factors, but in general, that's where a lot of our stress and frustration comes from. So, how do we know what our values are? Well, in some ways, it's kind of easy. You just need to ask yourself, what's most important to me? What do I need most in my life? Now, some people unfortunately go the wrong way with this. Um, Try when you're going through this to think more in terms of concepts, of ways you want to be, as opposed to physical things or things that you can do. You may, for example, a lot of people think that money or wealth is a value, but in truth, money is just something that gets you something else. Um, Maybe you value that Monet painting at the art museum, and you think if I had that, that would be, a really important thing to have in my life. But really, maybe that painting just represents culture or prestige or creativity. So yeah, in terms of money, it may also represent security or freedom. And what you have to sort of ask yourself is, if I had money, um, what would that get me? Or I want to feel secure so that I can have X, and whatever that X is, that's probably getting closer to a value. And once you've got your short list of 5 to 10 that you think are sort of your primary values in life, then we need to challenge these just a little bit to see if they are actually true values and part of our core set of values, or if they're sort of more superficial. And we do that by digging down. And it's a process where we just start asking ourselves a little more around each question, little more questions around each value. So you'd ask yourself, what is really important to me about this value? Or another way of saying that is, assuming I had that value in my life, what would be so important about having it? And just keep digging down and digging down until you have the thing that is really most important. And I'll give an example of how this works in a second. First, would you like to know what my values are? I really value this process, and I found it very eye-opening, very enlightening when I actually had my full list of values. So here they are. The most important thing in my life is my life? No. The most important thing in my life is my wife. That's my top value. Next is happiness. Then freedom. I really have a strong desire to live my life my way. And you might also expect creativity is definitely a value of mine, though maybe you're surprised to find that it's fourth on the list. I also value harmony. And to me, this is really about a sense of rightness with the world. It's about truth and beauty and nature and life and music and silence and acceptance and respect. And my last two top values are health and growth. Those are my values. Now, I'm going to go back to my first one for a sec. My wife is my top value, and you might be questioning this because I said earlier that concepts is really what we're looking for, and why isn't family my top value? And for me, I just needed to get that little extra step more specific. Family is very important to me, but it really is my wife that is the one that is most important in my life. So, what are your values? So ask yourself, what's most important in my life? And again, remember to think of concepts, not things or goals. We're not looking for things that you want to have or do, but sort of ways of being. Money isn't a value, but if you had money, that would mean you'd have more of what in your life? Travel, a lot of people, say something like that. I want to travel more. And that's not really a value. That's something you do. So ask yourself, why would I want to do this? What is important about traveling? What does that give me? What value does this promote? So let's say for our first value, we come up with the value of stability, just as an example. Then ask yourself, what about stability is really important to me? Is there more to it? Do you want stability so that you can really have more freedom or spend more time with your family? And again, it's family, not time. That's the value there. So maybe it is stability, then that's the actual value, but we just want to sort of confirm that that's really what it is. So spend some time digging into it and see if there's more there, if there's sort of a deeper value that stability sort of represents. And let's say in this case, we boil it down to is freedom. What we really want, our highest value is freedom. Then ask yourself, if I had freedom in my life, what else would I need? What else is most important to have in my life? Again, think of concepts, not goals, see what comes up, dig into it, then once you have one, move on to the next one and see if you can get about 5, probably no more than 10. If you have that many, I'm guessing you can probably condense some of them down and combine them. For me, harmony was one that really combined a lot, and it really made sense to me. Now, just knowing your top values is probably enough for most of you out there, but if you really want to go the next step, you want to order them. Now, why would you want to do this? Why would you want to sort of have them in order? Well, I'll explain that in my next video, since this one is already beginning to run a little long. But hopefully for now, you at least have your top 5 to 10 values, and that in and of itself is a huge thing. You can always come back to these, consult them when you're making tough decisions, and use them to live a more fulfilling and meaningful life. If you're struggling with identifying your values, as always, I'd love to help. You can feel free to drop me a line and we can chat. So until next time, I hope you can dream big, laugh lots, and create. Thank you. Bye-bye.